On the Gold Coast of Long Island, perched high above the water on a windswept bluff, stands a French castle far from France, its stone walls steeped in privilege, ambition and whispers of the past. This is Falaise, built in the 1920s by Harry F. Guggenheim, heir to one of America's greatest fortunes, diplomat, publisher, and aviation visionary. Designed in the style of a 13th century Norman manor, Falaise is one of the rare Gold Coast mansions that still stands today, untouched by the wrecking ball and preserved as a living time capsule of ambition and aristocracy. The Guggenheim name is synonymous with wealth, but it wasn't old money. The family's rise began with Meyer Guggenheim, a Swiss immigrant who built a mining empire in silver, copper and lead. The Guggenheim sons expanded the business globally, and Harry, the grandson, inherited both fortune and freedom. But Harry didn't want marble columns, he wanted towers. Completed in 1923, Falaise was built from imported French brick, local stone and aged timbers, an American imitation of medieval Normandy that turned heads even on Long Island's opulent North Shore. Step inside and the effect is cinematic. Rooms are dark and monastic, lined with armour, tapestries and fireplaces, big enough to roast a stag. The design isn't showy, it's symbolic. A fortress for a man who viewed himself as a modern knight, fighting battles in diplomacy, journalism and the skies above. After Charles Lindbergh's historic transatlantic flight in 1927, he needed a place to disappear. He found it here at Falaise, invited by his friend Harry Guggenheim, who had personally backed Lindbergh's aviation work. But this wasn't just a hideaway, it was a launch pad for ideas. Together, Harry and Lindbergh would advocate for military aviation, sponsor early rocket science, and influence America's role in the air. Harry's third wife, Alicia Patterson, would go on to found Newsday, and from this estate they built one of the most influential media empires in the country. But even the Guggenheim name couldn't escape tragedy. Harry's uncle, Benjamin Guggenheim, was among the most famous casualties of the Titanic. As the ship sank in 1912, Benjamin dressed in formal evening wear and told a steward, "We've dressed up in our best and are prepared to go down like gentlemen." His bravery became legend and cast a long shadow over the family's public image. Behind the castle walls, the Guggenheims lived lives that were far from serene. Harry married 3 times. His daughters Nancy and Diane were frequently profiled in society pages, often for their marriages, divorces and disputes over family wealth. His niece, Peggy Guggenheim, became a notorious art collector and cultural renegade, known for her affairs, eccentricity and wild salons in Venice and Manhattan. The Guggenheims weren't just rich, they were complicated. And then there are the rumours. Some say a shadow figure is seen in the upper turret windows, gazing toward the sound. Others report cold spots in the dining room or phantom footsteps in the hall after hours. Whether these are tricks of the mind or echoes of restless lives, Falaise feels like a place that remembers. Today, Falaise is part of the Sands Point Preserve, open for tours during warmer months. Unlike so many of its Gilded Age peers, it has not been bulldozed, subdivided or forgotten. It remains one of the few places where you can walk the stone halls of an American dynasty, among the books they read, the art they loved, and the ghosts they may have left behind. Subscribe for more stories of America's forgotten castles, haunted mansions, and the people who built them.